Brahmani, go ahead.
Yeah. Good morning, friends. Welcome to NRI Samay. Our guest for today's show is Mohammad Dilawar. Named as Heroes of the Environment in 2008 by the Time magazine, Mohammad Dilawar has taken up what seems to be a mammoth challenge to save a tiny little bird, the house sparrow. The once commonly seen sparrow is now slowly disappearing due to rapid urbanization. The decline of sparrows is a grim reminder about the ecological imbalance that we humans are creating. Mr. Dilawar founded an organization called the Nature Forever Society, which raises awareness about this issue and also distributes nest boxes and feeders to encourage the public to bring sparrows into their homes. The society also launched World Sparrow Day in 2010 on March 20th, along with other national and international organizations, two of them being Ecosys Action Foundation from France and Avon Wildlife Trust from UK. His Save Our Sparrows campaign has recently entered the Guinness Book of Records, another feather in his cap. Welcome, Mr. Dilawar. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Brahmani.
Hello. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. So may I know what your bachelor's degree was in?
I did my bachelor's degree in zoology, and the main reason for doing so is, like, I had a very little understanding of other subjects like maths and physics. They never interested me, and it gave me a wonderful opportunity to learn more about the rich biological life, and because of that, I have a very good foundation in basic wildlife sciences.
Okay, so how did this connection happen with nature? Like, what made you take up zoology, apart from the reason that you didn't like maths and civics?
Like, all my life, I loved animals more than anything else, and all childhood I had a lot of pets. So during my very early days, I thought that the best way to serve nature is to become a veterinary doctor. So you can always be in and around animals. But later I learned that there are other ways also to serve nature, and that is one of the reasons I took zoology as a subject.
Okay. So you probably would have answered this question 100 times. Why sparrows? Why not any other bird? Do you have any personal story or experience which made you start all of this?
Yeah, like, see, from childhood, I have grown up with sparrows. Like, we are from a family, from a family which couldn't afford me to send to a lot of national parks and sanctuaries. So from my childhood, the bird by which I was always surrounded was the sparrow. And as I grew up and I got involved in the nonsenses of life, I never realized, like so many other people, that sparrows are slowly diminishing from in and around us. But in 2004, when I came across some reports from UK that sparrows are declining in UK, it immediately stuck that I couldn't even see sparrows in India. So my search for sparrows began, but I could rarely see the sparrows in all the locations where I had seen them in my childhood and where I had grown up with them. So at that point of time, I made up my mind, like, there are so many people who are working for the threatened species, tigers, elephants, but there is no one who can, who's there to save sparrows. So 8 years back, conservation of a sparrow was something which was unheard in India. Like, I remember people have called me crazy. They have called me that I should do something worthwhile rather than wasting my time on doing research on sparrows. I've been thrown out of universities, research organizations, everywhere whenever I went, and I said that I want to work for sparrows. But I was committed that no matter what happens, I'll devote my life towards saving sparrows, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Wow, that's really great. I read in one of your articles where you said that there's a criminal lack of scientific aptitude in our country. Is this a comment for the lack of databases in our country, or the defunct system of maintaining records to any kind of research? What kind of problems did you face when you wanted to research?
Both the things. Like, see, in our country, whether it is the government, whether it is the scientific community, they all wake up only when the water reaches the nose. We lack the general attitude of maintaining data. So, for example, no one counted our sparrows historically. Unlike countries like UK and America, where they have been counting their common birds for more than 100 years now. Had we counted our common birds, species like vultures would not have reached the brink of extinction, because the common bird monitoring system acts like an early warning system. So we only like to do research on glamorous species or species where more money is available for research, where the scientists can have more papers to his name or can have more fellowships. So intrinsically it is all related to money in a way. And that is one of the reasons we do only repetitive research on few topics, and we don't explore new avenues or new areas. So one thing that I would like to convey through your radio is, like, there are so many species of birds, there are so many species of reptiles, mammals, about which the citizens or the common man has unheard. So even if each of us picks up one species and commits his life, I think we can make wonders. And to fill in this gap, on this World Sparrow Day, Nature Forever Society launched the Common Bird Monitoring System of India also.
Oh, okay. Right. So, yes, did you start it this year, the Common Bird Monitoring program, or are you planning to start it the next year?
No, we have already started the Common Bird Monitoring Program of India on March 20th, and the listeners can visit it by going on www.cbmi, C for common, B for birds, M for monitoring, and I for India.
Okay. cbmi.org. Can you tell us more about the program? Is it about collecting data about all the birds, or is it for spreading awareness?
It's a very dynamic and pioneering citizen science program, where we ask the citizens of the entire Indian subcontinent, which also includes countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, and India, because in the entire Indian subcontinent we find the same kind of birds. So we have selected 18 species which are found in across this Indian subcontinent. So all that the citizen scientists or the observers have to do is, for 15 minutes they have to stand outside their window, apartments, offices, wherever they are, and observe birds. If they see birds, that is good enough. If they don't see birds, that's also important data. So they just have to log in and enter this data. So by doing this, we, over a period of time, over the coming few years and decades, will build up a unique data which will act as an early warning system for our common birds, as well as for the way our cities are growing and the pressure is increasing on the various environmental factors.
Yeah. You started this in the March of this year, so how are the results so far? Do you have people in almost all the major cities observing the birds, or just in Mumbai as of now?
Presently we have more number of participation from major cities like Delhi, Bombay, Pune, but we are also getting participants from Madhya Pradesh, places and villages. But comparing the size of the country and the kind of population we have, we still have to go a very long way, and we still need many people to come in and fill in data into this. But one thing, like we have lot of patience, And since this is not a program which will run for a few weeks or months, but it's going to be a lifelong program, so we are not worried. But we are slowly working on various factors. So the citizens of the country, the common man of the country, get included into the conservation movement of the country, out of which he has been systematically kept away for so long.
Yeah, right. So tell us more about your Nature Forever Society. What kind of challenges have you faced when you were setting up the society?
Setting up Nature Forever, we didn't wanted to set up Nature Forever Society just for the sake of setting it up.
Okay.
It was formed when we found out that there is no organization whose mission and mandate is to save the common flora and fauna of the country. So we wanted to establish a society which is by the people and for the people, but whose ultimate goal is to save flora and fauna. It should not be an organization which will distinguish that, okay, we have more money, or so we'll work for this cause, or this species is threatened, or it is endangered, so we'll work and will not work for the lesser known or less the common flora. Another thing is we wanted to have freedom where we could choose our way of working rather than depending upon the fancies of any funding agencies. Because the moment you get some money from the funding agency, they come with strings attached. They have their own mission and mandate. So we wanted the freedom to work and to do the things that we wanted to do to save sparrows.
Okay. So what kind of programs are being handled right now by Nature Forever? Spreading awareness.
Nature Forever Society believes that conservation, especially as far as conservation is concerned in the urban areas or in and around human habitat, it needs to involve the citizens of the country. And as a Indian, I do understand, like people have a limited amount of time, energy, money and effort. So most of the projects or most of the campaigns that we run, we make sure that it doesn't require a lot of time, effort and money. And the citizens can easily do it. And even for implementing that, we don't require huge resources or money, because Nature Forever Society doesn't have any long-term funding or any donors. So for example, we initiated the World Sparrow Day in 2010, which everyone and anyone can celebrate. Like a family can go on a sparrow picnic, they can have sparrow parties. So yet the message of conservation of sparrows spreads. Then 4 years back we started the Help Birds in Summer campaign, which requires people to just keep a bowl of water outside their homes. In this way, we most of the time we have campaigns which doesn't require a lot of money, but yet it they have a very big functional conservation value. So this on this 14th August, we started a campaign which is called as Rise for the Sparrow, in which we designed activities that everyone can do easily. And like right from a doctor to very busy professional people, they can all do it. Then 2 years back, Nature Forever Society started another awards, which are the Sparrow Awards. And the Sparrow Awards are given only to the citizens and not professional ecologists like me, whose job is to save nature. But they are given to individuals who invest their own time, efforts and money across the country, and they are doing some exemplary work without dreaming or without expecting anything back. So we have campaigns which are very simple and doable.
Okay. So how do you single out these individuals for your awards? Like, which places are you based in India right now? Just Mumbai or some other cities too?
Like, nature for we believe, since we don't have money with us, but we have today we have a countrywide reach, and the only way we were able to do is through our website and by using internet as a medium to spread awareness. So today, Nature Forever Society has its adopter in practically every state of the country, in hundreds of cities across the country. So whenever we want to initiate anything, we just rope in all these people, and it becomes very easy for us to implement projects. Then, in the same way, by having we have conservation partners, which are organizations, and again we are not selective that we'll work only with conservation organizations. We are working with some of the leading corporates in India to small organizations. So we do not distinguish anyone who's interested in conservation of sparrows. They are welcome to be a part of the Nature Forever Society.
Oh, that's good. So coming back to the feeders and the nest boxes that you have been trying to sell through Nature Forever, do you find any significant results after they were installed in individual homes?
Yeah, one of the main reasons for starting the Adopt Nest Boxes and Bird Feeder scheme was that we should achieve three main goals. First, like when anyone adopts a nest box and installs it in and around their homes or offices, birds like sparrows and other birds which adopt them get a direct ecological benefit by getting nesting sites and a sustainable year-round source of food. So it has a very deep ecological value. Then the second thing, people who install it outside their homes, they develop a sense of ownership towards it. Like, this is my nest box, this is my bird feeder. And they start taking care of the bird, and in a way they become ambassadors for conservation. So people who visit their homes, they explain it, friends, relatives. So in this way, we get normal citizens turned into conservationists. And the third thing is, we are creating sanctuaries for birds in and around people's home across the country. And whenever anyone adopts a nest box or a bird feeder from us, a part of the revenue goes for running the organization. Since we do not have funding or donations, it gives us the money to run our organizations, Nature Forever Society also.
Okay, that's good. How about the Save Our Sparrow campaign, which entered the Guinness Book of Records? How do you think that can help your cause?
One of the major reason that we initiated the Save Our Sparrow campaign, which was very kindly funded by Brahmani Foundation on the centenary birth celebration of His Holiness Sayyidina Burhanuddin. The main reason for implementing the project on such a grand level across the country by distributing 52,000 bird feeders free of cost was to create 52,000 places where the sparrows can have food, where habitats can be created for sparrows, and implementing a project across the country in various landscapes creates opportunity for not only sparrows but even many other birds and wildlife to prosper. So this was one of the main reasons, plus getting so many people involved directly into the conservation. And when the project was implemented on the day of distribution, we were overwhelmed by the people who came to collect it. Not because it was free, but they all cared for sparrows.
Oh, okay. 55,000. That's really good.
52,000.
52. Okay. 52,000. So, do you think captive breeding will work for sparrows? Like, it has worked for some endangered species before, but what do you think?
presently we are not in a state where we require captive breeding for sparrows. Like sparrows are still there in large number. The, we have not reached a state where they require captive breeding, and sparrows are not a species which are known to be breed very well in captivity. And plus, Nature Forever Society is working with all its resources to increase the population of sparrows, and maybe there should never be a day where we could have something like captive breeding for sparrows.
True.
We'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Yes, that's right. However, the other 18 species that you have mentioned in the Common Bird Monitoring Program, how is the situation for those species?
Now, see, presently we have very little data, or we have very little information. But one thing is sure, like since the visibility or the awareness in regard to this bird is less, even though they are declining, no one is concerned about that, or very few people are interested in saving them. So that is one of the reasons why Nature Forever Society has started the Bird of the Month campaign. So every month we are highlighting one of the 18 species of the common bird. We are displaying all the information in regard to the common bird species on the CBMI website. And we want people to go out and actually look for this common bird. And we want people to photo document them by taking photographs. And for that, we have even initiated the NFS Bushnell Bird of the Month photo competition, where we are giving a very high quality Bushnell Nature View binocular every month. So we are working with all our resources, all our strength, but we will not be able, will not succeed unless Indians or people across the country come ahead and help us by monitoring these birds more often from more and more locations, as well as capacity building of this program. Because like anything else, even Common Bird Monitoring Program of India presently is not, we don't have any funding for this particular project. So, for example, in America, where the Cornell Lab of Ornithology is implementing this project about celebrating urban birds, where they also monitor the common birds of America, they have budgets of millions of dollars. But we implemented this project without any help. It was by the kind wishes of JP Group in India, who helped us in designing the website of the project of the Common Bird Monitoring Program of India. But there is a long way to go ahead. We are looking out for support for the Common Bird Monitoring Program of India. So we can work by employing more professionals. We can go to more schools, colleges, universities, research organizations across the country to spread the awareness of the Common Bird Monitoring of India project.
So have you been doing that, like going to schools, starting from the grassroots with children, spreading awareness?
We want to do that, but presently we don't have funding. So we are our outreach is greatly reduced.
Oh. Did you approach any government, any level, either the municipalities or the state government, about some funding or to support you to get some data?
If you go into getting funding from any government agencies, since this is a national level program, and citizen science program is quite new, so it takes a long time to get funding from the government agencies, and we didn't want to waste any time in that. So presently we are working again with our own limited resources. But we are approaching a lot of corporates, we are approaching a lot of individuals or organizations to support the Common Bird Monitoring Program. But the as I told you in the starting, for them research is that like you have to go into the forest, you have to work on tigers or other things. So if I tell them that okay, I'm working for tigers, they will bring a suitcase full of money. But for the common birds, money comes in quite difficult in a quite difficult way.
Oh. Can you tell us the website again? Is it cbmi.com or org?
In.
Okay. All right. We have a listener who has a question right now, so I'll let him take over.
Please.
Yes.
Dilawar, this is Srikanth. Sir, I was listening to you, and then you mentioned about a university, Cornell or something just now. I was interested to understand what kind of universities do you have idea in United States wherein people who live in United States can help in this process to get you data or whatever it is. So if you can expand on some of the resources or some data that you're looking from United States in any specific universities, can you please elaborate on that?
We for the Common Bird Monitoring Program of India, we don't need data from the US. But what I would request for people who are there in the US, they should take part in monitoring the common birds of US or where they stay. And they can visit the Cornell Lab of Ornithology website, which if you just type on Google "Celebrate Urban Birds," you will directly go on that website. And it's a citizen science program where Cornell University is requesting people in the same way we are requesting in India to contribute data towards monitoring the common birds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so coming back, it is said that sparrows are host to a lot of diseases found in humans and domestic animals, and hence considered as a pest. Is this true? And do you think this close interaction might actually be harmful to the humans or other animals?
No. See, the sparrows are considered as a pest, especially in the North and South Americas, where they were introduced by the Britishers in the late 1800s. And there they are responsible for a lot of, they cause a lot of harm to the native species of America. But as far as considering the harm to human beings, this is not true, because sparrows are one of the oldest companions that humans have. They have evolved with us for the past 10,000 years. So from the time we were we converted from hunterers and gatherers to sedentary agriculturists. They are with us. So it's not true that humans are harmed by the presence of sparrows. In fact, sparrows need humans for fulfilling all their ecological needs, whether it is nesting sites, food, protection, whatever they survive. It's only because of humans, and that is one of the reasons why you won't find sparrows in dense forest deserts where humans are absent. Where humans are present in the natural range, you will always find the sparrows around.
Okay. But did you hear about this, the 4-Pest campaign that China had implemented around 1960s, which resulted in zero sparrow population and eventually led to a great famine? So what kind of future do you foresee in other parts of the world, especially India?
It's a very good example of what situation we might land up if sparrows are not there, or for that matter, why only sparrows? Any other part of the nature is not there. Like Mao thought that if they kill all the sparrows, the grain population will go up. Yes. But on the contrary, when sparrows were not present, for 1 year they got an increase, 1 or 2 years they got an increase in the production. But then, because there were no sparrows and no predators, the insect population and the locust population increased to such a level that they ate up whatever was there in their farms. And in the Great Famine of China, millions of people had died. So it's a grim reminder again for India, the policymakers of India, like if sparrows are not there, uh, the agricultural ecosystem on which the entire country depends will be severely hampered or damaged due to the absence of sparrows.
Okay.
And
So do you
sparrow
think?
is also a very important bioindicator. So if sparrows are absent from our urban ecosystems or human habitation, it's again a reminder that the environment in which we all are living is polluted. It's no good for us, and that's why the sparrows have gone out of it, or they have died. And we humans are either dumb enough not to understand the indications that nature is giving us.
Yes. Yes. So what is the strength of policies that we have in our country to protect this species from such drastic measures by the government? If it has
Like
to.
over the past 7 to 8 years that Nature Forever Society and we are working for creating awareness, and we at Nature Forever Society thoroughly believe that working with the policymakers and government agencies is quite important. And that's why even though Nature Forever Society is small, it doesn't have a resources, we continuously invest a lot of our efforts into advocacy. So it was only because of the sustained campaign that we had run in the media and other places, we created a pressure on government, and the government had formed a central empowered committee to study the impact of cell phone towers on sparrows. Apart from that, recently we are working in close coordination with the Delhi government, and because of the efforts of Nature Forever Society, we got sparrow declared as the state bird of Delhi on this 15th August. So working with the government agencies and strengthening the policies, as well as making them aware about the importance of conservation of common flora and fauna and sparrows, is one of the key aspects that Nature Forever Society believes and it works for. Since India is a democratic country and we believe in the concept of democracy, we should always try to create pressure on the government agencies, policymakers, to make more policies which are favorable for conservation of our common flora and fauna as well as for the welfare of humans.
So you have mentioned the disappearance of sparrows from urban environments due to these cell phone towers. Recently, there have been changes in the cell transmitter radiation limits. So do you think there will be a comeback of sparrows due to these changes, or is there a lot of work to be done?
I was part of that committee which prepared the report. So, and from the starting, I believe that it is not only the cell phone towers which are killing all the sparrows. In case of sparrows, I am a firm believer that all wrong things are happening at one point of time. So, for example, in the past 15-20 years, India has seen a tremendous amount of growth, development of infrastructure, property rates have gone up. So, our urban environment has changed. Today, the buildings in India are glass and aluminum, have exterior glass cladding, or they have aluminum composite, which is they mimic some of the Western buildings. But these buildings are not a good habitat for birds like sparrows. In the same way, the country today is infested with the invasive exotic plants, which do not harbor the native plants, or they do not harbor the insects which are vital for the young ones of the sparrows. So all these things also need to be equally taken, their nesting site, the food source. Like previously, Indian women used to sit out of their home and clean grain. But due to the development and the liberalization, today our women are competing with men in each and every field. So they go to offices, they are working. So the lifestyle has changed. And due to better hygienic condition, the food source of sparrows have also declined. So it's not only the cell phone towers, but various other reasons which also one needs to take care and understand.
Okay. Yes. What kind of a response do you actually get from people of different walks, like from a student to a farmer or to a technologist? do you have any incidents to share? Like when you go and tell them, we are here to save our sparrows, what kind of response do you get?
Now, Brahmani, see, I have been working in conservation field almost for 13 years now. I started from my very early days when I was quite young that time. So previously, in case of other species, there is lot of amount of convincing which has to be done as far as the citizens or the people who are not conservationists. But over my past 8 years of experience for working for sparrows, wherever we go, the citizens of our country, they say, what you want from us? What can we do? Because I believe that the house sparrow is the common man's bird. It's the bird of the citizen. It's the bird with which generations have grown up. They have tremendous amount of love for the birds. They feel sad that the bird is declining. And in fact, it is the citizen and the common man of the country who has came forth for the conservation of sparrows. It's not the scientists or the scientific community, researchers or the government agencies who were the first one to stand behind Nature Forever Society or our efforts to save sparrows. It was the citizen of India, it was the common man, the housewives, the students who were and who are our biggest support system today.
Yes, that's it. We have another listener who wants to ask you a question, Dilawar.
Sure.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Sindhu. I'm calling from Los Angeles. I wanted to ask a question. No, I've been hearing a lot, Save Tiger and all this. I was really wondering, until I hear you that it is such an important part of our life. Sparrow is such an important part of it. I never even thought about that bird. But really, when I was listening to that, I got my childhood remembrance that how I used to love this bird. So I just wanted to know, in India or overall, is it really extinct? You are telling in the urban areas, let's say in Bangalore, it is totally extinct. We don't find this bird, or do we find in some parts of the cities or villages? So what is the status, Dilawarji? I just wanted to know about.
Yeah, it's lot of time people exaggerate that it is on the brink of extinction. No, the sparrows are not on the brink of extinction. They are still present in good numbers, but traditionally they were present in millions, and now they are not present in that number. So specifically as far as Bangalore is concerned, I go to Bangalore quite often, and there they are absent from a significant part. So now the population of sparrows in Bangalore is in few locations and in few numbers. Like previously, one could have found sparrows across the city of Bangalore, but today, if you next time when you go to the airport, the Bangalore International Airport, you will see there are a lot of sparrows because the habitat there is quite conducive for the sparrows. The Indian villages still have a lot of sparrows. I have surveyed a lot of villages where a good and healthy population of sparrow is seen, but certainly they don't match the thousands of sparrows which one used to see at one point of time, or hundreds of sparrows at one point of time, which were there in traditional times. So certainly their population has taken a beating and has came down. But there is still a lot of hope that if we do small things for sparrows, we will be able to bring it back. I'm quite hopeful on that.
Okay, thank you. So coming back, what are the various channels through which people can get connected to you? How can one donate for the cause or volunteer for the cause?
We at Nature Forever Society, we want people to if you see on our website, we are very shy of asking money. We have not, and we have never run any campaigns for money because somehow we feel very shy. I always feel like if we go and ask for money, maybe people will start not taking our phone calls, or they might not help us when the help is really needed. And that's the reason we ask people to adopt nest boxes and bird feeders from us, because when they adopt a nest box, it's not only like you give up your money and your guilt and you wash off your hands, but when you adopt a nest box, you become an equal stakeholder in the conservation of house sparrows.
Okay.
So that is something which is very, very important. We have on our website, if anyone goes on the website of www.natureforever.org, our website, we have created a e-shopping, e-commerce portal, so people can directly buy the various nest boxes and bird feeders, and we deliver it at their doorsteps across the country. So that gives us a countrywide outreach. The second thing is we want all the listeners in USA and other parts of the world to like the Nature Forever Society Facebook group, to spread the message in their family and friend circle. And all the information that we have, we upload it on our Facebook groups, on the Nature Forever Society website, on the Common Bird Monitoring of India website, and the World Sparrow Day website. And if anyone wants to donate, on our website we have put a small donate us button, where we have put all our banking details and other things. So any help as far as conservation of sparrow is concerned is always welcome. But what is more important is people donating the place in their home, or sharing their place in their home with sparrows. We want people to welcome the sparrows again in their life, in their homes, so more and more habitat for sparrows can be created, because that is something which is very, very important.
Okay. So we have two more listeners with questions. We'll wrap up the show after that. So.
Sure. Please. I would be happy to talk with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Dilawar, this is Akshay. Hello?
Yeah? I can hear you, sir.
You have been doing an incredible work. I mean, this is really great. Actually, I was going through the news in BBC. It says that Delhi government adapted house sparrow as a state bird. And they said, even Delhi Minister Sheila Dixit said, we will take steps to ensure that sparrow returns, feels safe, and is able to live peacefully in the city. So I'm just wondering, what did the Delhi government announce to tackle these problems? I mean, what are the steps that Delhi government is going to take?
Yeah, see, as I told before in my show, we had applied for to the Delhi government to get house sparrow declared as a state bird of Delhi. And on 14th of March, when we got the sparrow declared as when we launched the Rise for the Sparrow campaign, Sheila Dixit ji, who's a very strong supporter of the Sparrow Conservation Movement and Nature Forever Society, at that time she got the sparrow declared as the state bird of Delhi. And because of this gesture, it has helped tremendously in raising the profile of the house sparrow, because in a way Delhi is the national capital of India. So that has really helped, and plus we are working with the Delhi government to involve the citizens of the state of Delhi into wider conservation of house sparrows.
Okay.
Thank you, Dilawar.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hello. Hi, Dilawar. This is Srikant back again, sir. I have another question here.
Yes, Srikant.
So my question is, urbanization is mainly due to real estate people coming up with huge buildings and a lot of, let's take case study of Bangalore.
Yeah.
Wondering why not partner with these guys? These guys recently, some of these real estate people are very receptive to new ideas, like you talk about solar power, you talk about water conservation, water table preservation. How about partnering with these guys and then coming up with this sparrow habitats inside this big villas and bungalows that they're constructing? It might bring in some curiosity to the kids, right?
Yeah, we are working on those lines also. But see, in a country like India, where there are hundreds of cities and maybe thousands of builders, what is more important is to have a change in the policy both at national level as well as state level. So if there is a policy like buildings and apartments need to be more bird friendly, it will happen. So that's one of the things that we are continuously working, and at the same time we are also working to change the mentality of the builders as well as the residential associations to create more habitat in places where they live.
Yes. Yes. I think. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Thank you very much, Mr. Dilawar, for your time, and we really wish you good luck.
Thanks a lot, and I hope with the medium of your radio, we are able to reach more number of people and get them involved into the conservation of house sparrows.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Friends, so that was Mr. Dilawar, a man passionately fighting for saving our Chirapti friends. We certainly learned a lot about sparrows today and how important they are for our environment. Please visit natureforever.org to buy some of those wonderful nest boxes or feeders, and also like their page in Facebook. Visit cmbi.in to know more about their common bird monitoring program.
Common bird monitoring.
Yes, Common Bird Monitoring Program of India. So you're listening to NRI Samay, an online radio bringing great shows every weekend. Please like us on Facebook. Just search NRI space Samay and you'll find us. Also visit our website nrisamay.com to listen to our previous shows. Thank you.